Now let us consider the biblical narrative on this scene, since we didn't cover it last message. It states, and Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and the Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, meaning Joseph, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had put into his hand. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. So in other words, although Joseph was captive and he was bought by this Egyptian chief of Pharaoh's army, he prospered in this man's home. And this man trusted him completely of all that he had, to the point where he didn't even know all he had. That's how much trust he had for Joseph. Well, the greatest question is, how are these verses fulfilled in the life and mission of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, the Messiah? Has he fulfilled this? Again, we're dealing with layers of meaning. So here we learn again that Joseph was immediately prosperous in his dealings with the Potiphar. Now, this could refer to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's success in rebuilding the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad among the black people of the Western Hemisphere, because the Potiphar's house is limited, meaning that it's his house. It's not all of Egypt. According to the Messianic prophecies, the work of the Messiah is local, national, before it becomes global. Now let us continue with the narrative of Joseph from the Bible. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, Lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, Behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither have he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass, as she spoke to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her or to be with her. Now, in fulfillment of this scene in the life of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, the Potiphar's wife could represent the trials involving women, generally, challenges that any man who becomes famous usually encounters because many women flock to successful men. You know that, and I know that. So this is a continuous challenge, and this is why she continued to beckon Joseph in that regard. This could also refer to the work of something more treacherous, where women are used as agents of entrapment. Now, there's more to this scene that meets the eye, but we will leave it here for right now. So here it is also established that Joseph consistently resisted engaging in this sin. That's important to know. Because when false witnesses arise to condemn the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, it matches up with the prophetic narratives. So we're given Joseph's character, and we're also given the knowledge in the narrative of Jesus' crucifixion that false witnesses will arise and were sought out.